it's Jess the Ska Kid and the Knights of the Round Table.
You see a brownie. Give points.
Here, guy.
And on the phone with us tonight is the big news, Ska!
Hey!
Yay! Look at you guys did that so fucking perfect.
That was
Bravo! Yay! Best intro ever. You guys win. So how about we do quick introductions because it's 4 guys, 1 phone. That sounds like a really bad porno. But go ahead.
Ooh.
Introduce.
It is a website.
Wow.
Things went downhill really fucking quick.
That's okay. Welcome to the Jess the Ska Kid show, where you hear everything offensive.
That's your wild.
So I know one of you, John. So do introductions on what you play.
I'm John and I play drums. My name's Jacob and I play guitar and sing. I'm Daniel, I play the trombone. And I'm Ryan and I play trumpet.
Yay!
I
Do you...
thought I was going to go John Jacob Jingleheimer.
John Jacob Jingleheimer.
That was very brawny of you.
Who is your 5th member that's not yet on with us?
It is Logan and he plays bass.
Okay.
Bass player's lady.
We also call it Logano, like the song title.
Yeah? Hey, speaking of the song titles, when you guys sent me that WAV file, it just has like the album name and then occasionally it'll have a number and sometimes a few words of what the song was. Just so you know. So like when I played a snippet on Tuesday, I was like, I don't know what song this is, but I know what band it is. And then I totally fucked up at the end and was like, it's Beat the Smart Kids. Because I was already thinking too far ahead about talking about your show. So let's talk about your show, right? First off, you guys are on tour, yes?
We're about to be. Yeah, we're going to. Yeah, we will be on April 5th. Yeah. We go out every single weekend. We go out of state somewhere.
Yeah? And this upcoming weekend, you're playing in Chicago, at the Subterranean.
Yeah, indeed. Right.
So, how did you all come to befall me? Because I think when John messaged me, he was like, I don't know, we were told you're the person to talk to. Who the hell told you that?
All my friends in the Ska community. No,
Wow! That's amazing.
Yeah, there's a guy that runs this page called Talk the Ska, and his name is Matt, and basically he just said that you were a really good asset, and I heard that from several people, but I can't remember who else had said that. But yeah, it was just like, get a hold of Jess. She does the ska, and I said, okay, I could do that. But yeah, Matthew Dunn also does a thing called Talk the Ska, the podcast, and he's in Chicago, and I can't remember who else, but yeah, I heard your name mentioned by a few people, and then also Mark is in a band called Madeline, and I'm pretty sure he did an interview with you too.
Yeah, so that's interesting. More than one referral. Yay!
My, how the turntables.
Woo!
Good, well played. So you're playing this weekend, Saturday, with Bumsy and the Moochers and Beat the Smart Kids. Have you guys ever played with either of those bands before?
No, we've never played in Illinois. Yeah, we've never played in Illinois.
No.
Where do they typically play?
Where do you guys? I mean, you guys hail from Oklahoma City, correct?
Right.
So how do you come to be making your way up yonder?
We have a band.
That don't mean shit, my friends.
Well, there's this DIY record label that puts out tapes, and they're called In the Lake Records, and they're like, I think, an hour north of Chicago. And I came across this guy one day on Twitter, and he's just this super, super rad person, very generous, very nice. And we did a first run of the tape about a year ago, right before we went on our first West Coast tour. And we never had an official tape release party for it, and so now we are.
Wow.
So we have cassette tapes. Yeah.
That's awesome. I saw that. advertised on the Subterranean thing, and I was like, tapes. It's interesting because before you guys, most of the things that I had seen in tape form from recent bands would be punk bands or metal bands because they like the way that sounds. So what made you guys go with a tape? Why vintage?
I think like we started to catch on that it's kind of an upcoming market again.
Yeah, and it's kind of a fun way to listen to an album, you know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So
That's
I've also got like 20 years on these guys, and I get nostalgia from them.
well, wait, time out. You said you have 20 years on them. Are you 60?
Me as a bass player, about older than the rest of the band, but I like to exaggerate and say 20. But yeah, it's nostalgic, and like it was really popular on the West Coast. Like we'd play up and down like California and shit like that, and Vegas, and they really liked the tapes.
Yeah, they really like the tapes, actually.
So
it's crazy.
It's called In the Lake.
In the Lake record, yeah, it's just a DIY guy that runs it out of his basement, kind of like Asian Man Records. It's really cool. Obviously, Asian Man's like huge, but
Right. We've never heard this, and we're about an hour north of Chicago, so let's go find this guy's basement. Yeah.
yeah, I'll get you in contact with him after.
He helps us out a lot, and he's the reason that we have tapes.
Yay! So, do you think that one of those tapes would be making its way over to our house?
Oh, absolutely.
Of course. I'll send you stickers. It'll be exchanged, goods and services.
Bartering.
Do you guys have? Go on.
We have red and yellow tapes.
Ooh,
Interesting.
that's really neat. Now here's a question. You've made CDs, correct?
Yeah.
And now you've made tapes.
Yeah.
Have you made any actual pressed vinyl?
No, but there are ideas for it in the works.
So is it more expensive to make a tape or a CD?
CD. Yeah, CD for sure.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Huh.
I mean, if you're making your own CDs, it's hella cheap, but we have them like packaged and like printed and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you-
Putting it on the CD instead of a sticker.
Do you guys do your own artwork, or do you commission somebody to make art?
Actually, John's wife, Marcy, usually draws any of the illustrations, and then we all kind of collaborate on any of the photo stuff.
Yeah. And my buddy Chris did our logo.
Yeah. So we have friends and
And they do it for you?
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
So besides being on Facebook, for those people who are just tuning in, as we're about 15 minutes in, we're talking to 4 of the 5 members of The Big News, a ska band from Oklahoma City. Going on tour. Just pressed a tape. You're going to have tapes available at that show, yeah?
Yeah. Absolutely.
It'll be limited, so you should get there early.
So what's early? Because I've been to the Subterranean before, and I'll tell you what, they don't let you in, and security is fucking horrible. Then they shove you around when they pat you down and push you down the stairs, depending on which way you're going, up or down.
On a lighter note, how much is your merch, your tapes?
Tapes are $5. Our merch is cheap. You can get like one of almost everything for $20. You can get t-shirts for $12.
Ooh.
You can get the for $10. You can get the old CD for $5. You can get 2 stickers for $1. You can get 2 buttons for $1. You can get a patch for $2 that's embroidered. We got a lot of cheap shit.
That's neat.
Maybe a patch could make its way up this way too.
Hey, here's a question. Where else
You guys
are we? Hey, we'll share. You send us merch, we'll send you our merch.
Oh, yeah.
Good. Yeah, that's great.
Because I guess in shipping
Oh,
and
we're
handling,
drinking, by the way. They're taking shots right now.
they are of what?
Better be.
Jameson, and they're chasing it with Pabst. and chords.
We love you. Cheers. I'm a Jameson fan through and through. I can just drink that shit straight from the bottle. It doesn't even have to be chilled. It can just be bottled on the shelf. Pass it this way and I will drink it.
But Jameson.
Yeah, this gets warm.
Yeah. Feels my beer.
Kith ended up one time, we went to a party over the summer, which was like a wedding reception, and they had left this bottle out into like a garage, so it was hot, and they're like,
boiling.
here, take a shot. He's like, that is the grossest shot I've ever fucking taken.
Syrup.
Was it like, it was hot?
It was boiling.
Yeah, it was
Oh my God, no!
Was it like Kentucky Delight? Because I used to call that part in the bottle back in college.
Ugh.
I call it Kentucky Delu. That kind of fancy.
That's great.
So tell us the story of how the big news became the big news.
Well, me and the bass. This is Jacob. Me and the bassist met and at a strung out concert in Oklahoma City, and we started jamming. He was like, "I like ska." I said, "Oh man, I like ska." And we started jamming, and we went through. Well, when we started the band, we were called 5 Star Gravy, but that's a horrible name. Let's drop that. It's a terrible name.
Lots of nasty and you
Couldn't get out of that. So, we had a few member changes and renamed it the Big News, and we came across everybody about a total of like 3 years ago, right?
It all just kind of happened.
Yeah, yeah, it all just came together, and then we've been, us 5 are the guys that made it to where it is now.
Very neat. I like the name because as I've been talking about this and promoting it, people are like, but what's the big news?
Yes,
I'm like,
all the time.
no, it's a band. So it's very catchy.
We got to tell you.
What, you haven't heard?
What, you haven't heard them? Hey, yeah, I know. There's so many puns. It's so good. So,
We're still waiting to hear the big news too. We don't know what it is.
right? Will we find out Saturday in Chicago at the Subterranean?
Woo!
Right? I like that if they don't know what I said, they're just gonna go woo.
Well, the drinking Jameson. That's the experience.
I've caught on, boys. I've caught on.
No, I get drunk and I just woo a lot.
You become the nature boy? Calm down, Ric Flair.
I just hey, woo!
So, oh no, what was I gonna ask? I'm sorry, I got distracted a
I'm
second.
sorry.
Maybe something about
I was gonna ask influences. What are your ska influences? Because you can say you like ska, and every fucking time I'm like, I like ska, people go, oh, you mean like Real Big Fish? And that's the only fucking band they throw at me.
Well, it's kind of fun because we all listen to a whole bunch of different things, outside of ska, because like I kind of like metal, and
What kind of
like,
metal?
what kind of metal?
Mm-hmm.
Man, okay, well.
Oh, come on with it already.
Okay. I love Motorhead. I love Thin Lizzy is one of my favorite bands, and you may not classify that as metal, but I love Thin Lizzy. Pantera, Cowboys from Hell is amazing. Megadeth, some of their stuff is pretty good. Early Metallica. Slayer, South of Heaven is one of the best albums ever made. I don't know what kind of metal you listen to. What kind of stuff you guys listen to?
Who are you asking us?
Yeah.
Haha!
The interviewer becomes the interviewee.
Well played. I didn't even have to ask you guys to ask me questions.
I'm sorry.
No, we're good.
That's a really loaded question.
So,
This
okay.
could go on for.
I do listen I listened to metal, and it was Pantera, and Slayer, but like I'm an older fan, which is black metal, and then they kind of became doom, and then electronic. I love Catatonia. They're really fucking awesome. I'm trying to see on my thing right. Strapping Young Lad is an amazing band. So, Guar, that's the kind of metal I like.
Guar is amazing.
What's the question?
Oh, the Phantom.
You got Daniel over there, and Daniel like Pink Floyd and the Beatles. And,
Oh yeah, Beatles are amazing.
yeah, I love that song. I love rock and roll. Back in the day.
So we're talking about the Beatles. What other band?
If you're talking about ska influences, like one of my first favorite bands ever was like Five Iron Frenzy. And it was crazy because, like, I know this is random, but we were staying in Denver. We played at Seventh Circle, like, what was it, 6 months ago?
Yeah, about it.
And I got hooked up through a friend that found a family for us to stay out and sleep in their basement. And we got up to the basement, and it was Five Iron Frenzy's lead guitarist's house.
Whoa.
And his wife took breakfast the next day. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Wow.
I watched. It was awesome.
That's the big news.
That is the big news.
That's pretty awesome.
And like, I also grew up like absolutely loving pop punk, like Green Day and Blink-182 and MXPX, and just like
MXPX,
a bunch of that.
wow.
My bass player's favorite band, Strung Out, and then we all collectively love Streetlight Manifesto, and just stuff like that. Like other ska bands that really influenced the band, as a majority would be like Mighty Mighty Boscones and
MXPX.
yeah.
Who, if you guys could, first, how long have you guys been a band?
Well, we technically started in 2014. Daniel joined in June 2015. Daniel joined. So me and Logan started the band basically in January 2014. Daniel joined in June of 2015.
November 2015 is when John joined.
John joined November 2015.
And then Ryan, when did you join?
I joined April 2016.
Yeah. And then it's just been us basically.
Yeah, so us as a group about 2 years. This current group.
And we've played almost 250 shows in those 2 years.
Holy fuck.
Damn.
How do you guys have the luxury of going to go play every weekend somewhere else?
We don't.
Yeah, we give our bosses ultimatums and say, like, if you fucking want us to work here, you're going to give us the weekends off.
We all quit.
We've all been fired.
We've all hurting for money.
All quit jobs so many times.
It is it's basically the model that we have for the band is either you're obsessed or you're not in it, and that's basically how we live it.
So tried and true.
This is our day job. I mean, this is our full-time gig, and the other job that pays us, is not priority.
It's gonna come to an end at some point.
You're kind of underemployed, like, folk punk kids?
Mm-hmm.
The one thing you're missing is the dog, a backpack, and a train.
Oh, and the stick.
Lack of a bath.
Do you guys bathe?
We got a fucking van though.
Yeah, we got a van though.
You have a van? I have a bumper sticker for that van.
Actually, we have 2 vans.
Yeah, we
actually
technically
own
own 2 vans. And they're the exact same make and model.
Hey, so why no saxophone players?
Oh, that's kind of
Wow.
Have you met a saxophone player?
Yeah, I am one. Are you saying I'm loud? Oh.
And that's the big
reason that we
news.
say this. The reason that we say this is because we did have, and he's still a really good friend of ours.
He's great. He's in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, he's a great guy. But
They're really good.
And here comes the bud.
It just didn't work out.
yeah, and then,
Okay.
Oh my god.
If you want to be in the band, you have to be obsessed, right? And we haven't met anybody that, like, we want to be friends and we want to be family with everybody that's in this band. And we just, like, we can do this without a sax player right now. And so we just do it. We're not, like, actively seeking somebody to be
well,
done. Yeah.
The trombone trumpet thing we got going on is pretty awesome. Like, just adding a saxophone, it would have to be perfect to work out, or else just no way.
Yeah.
We'll pass.
We'll pass.
Slightly.
Oh,
Yeah.
God damn, my heart broke a little bit. It's okay.
Hey, I love the saxophone. Yeah, we love the saxophone, and the saxophone sounds really good. Yeah, in our mix, it really does. It really does.
It makes
our
one step
experience-
beyond.
our-
One step beyond. Just saying.
Hey, Jess, I got a challenge for you.
You have
What?
A challenge?
you have a challenge?
For you. Yeah. Yeah.
All right,
Learn,
we're ready.
learn Kingston Weekend. Learn Kingston Weekend, and you can play that song with us.
You can learn any song you want.
Yeah, you can learn any song you want and play with us.
Good.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Learn any song I want, and then I can play with you.
Well, I mean,
Well, our songs. Because we don't
Right,
play
right.
them.
Learn one of your songs that I can like guess as one thing.
No, you can play as many as you learn.
Or you can just tell us to fuck off.
Yeah.
We haven't gotten there yet. You'll know. No, I've not had any Jameson. You're good. So out of these this obscene number of over 200 shows that you've played, give us a little brief rundown of like where you've been and where's been the best and the worst place to play.
Oh boy.
Okay, I will give you a brief rundown.
I'm prepared.
We played as far south as Austin. We were on our way to San Antonio, and Daniel fell on his head at a party, and we had to rush him to the hospital.
As in the cement.
Yeah, and we had to rush him to the hospital, and he had a concussion and was like bleeding and shit, so we had to come home.
I don't remember that.
Yeah. We've been as far north as, what was the farthest north?
Farthest north so far is St. Louis, but it'll be Chicago and Saturday.
Des Moines.
Oh yeah, we played Des Moines.
Well, we've also played with Des Moines. Yeah, Des Moines is probably the farthest north that we've been.
That's not north. That is not north.
No, that is not north.
Chicago is north. Des Moines is southwest of Chicago. So though north of you guys in Oklahoma City, I believe it'd kind of be northeast of you, but not the farthest north.
The more you know.
Sorry.
No, you're asking. Oh, when you tell me the furthest we've been.
Yeah. I just mean we've been to New Mexico, we've been to Arizona, California, Nevada, Utah. We're about to go to Washington.
Arkansas, Tennessee.
Yeah,
We
we're
played
in Arkansas,
Nashville.
Tennessee. 2 years ago, I could tell you that I've been to 5 states, and they all surround Oklahoma. And now there is a smaller ratio of states I haven't been to.
Have you gone to Ohio?
We're not in Ohio.
No.
How about Pennsylvania?
Not yet.
No. We
Washington-
went almost east.
Was-
We branched out more west than we have east.
South and east has been the extent. Like the furthest east we've been is Nashville.
Which that's kind of why we're coming out there,
Yeah?
Chicago and Tennessee, all those areas to branch out more east.
We'll have to like have you come to Wisconsin.
Yeah.
That would be awesome. Yeah, I will play anywhere. Yeah, absolutely anywhere.
Like a basement.
We were supposed to play
In Fargo.
Fargo, and then we had a family emergency and couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
Oh, do you know who the Bishops are?
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
I was gonna
Omaha,
say,
right?
yes. I was gonna say that you should like try to go play with them. So
Yeah, they're rad.
They are awesome.
they're pretty. I met them when they had just released one of their new albums. They sent it to me, and then we met them as they backed Monty Niasmith at this Fistful of Ska event in Iowa that we went
Nice.
to. It was
It's
pretty cool.
The ag lights were there.
It
It
was
was awesome.
really
We're pretty good friends with Mad Dog in the 2020s. Have you guys heard of them?
Mad Dog in the 2020s? No.
I thought he said Matchbox
No.
2020.
Mad Dog?
Like the alcohol.
Mad Dog.
Oh, gross! Oh, God!
Like
Yeah.
Blasphemy!
bigger.
They're from Lincoln.
They're an amazing band, though. Yeah, they're an amazing band.
I've not heard of them.
You'll have to check them out. They're a really good friends of ours, and they're from Nebraska, and they're super, super good. Yeah, great.
When you were asking about all these shows we've been playing, like this tour that's coming up,
Yes.
it'll be May 5th to the
April.
21st. Oh, sorry, April 5th to the 21st. And it's 11 states and it's 17 shows.
So tell us, where will that be? Like,
So the routes could be Albuquerque, Salt Lake City, Boise, Seattle, Portland, Sacramento, Visalia, and these Visalias in California too. And then we're going to play in Santa Ana, San Diego. Then we're going to play Berkeley. We're playing at 924 Gilman Street. And then we're playing Los Globos in Los Angeles. And then we're going to play Las Vegas with Be Like Max. And then we're going to play Grand Junction. And then we're going to play Denver with a bunch of really awesome ska punk bands. And then we're playing in Wichita. Because it's like, Wichita is like a really cool place that we play very often. We're going to play it on 420. We're playing with a Brazilian ska punk band named Abacadabra.
oh my
And
gosh,
then we're-
that's cool.
We're hosting them, and then we're playing at Ska by Ska West in Dallas with Matamoska and Abracadabra, Madeline, the Holophonics, Mad Dog in the 2020s.
All of our friends. Zero to Panic.
A lot of bands.
I love those.
Flip in the combined effort. It's going to be rad. Last year we had Los Carnales, and we had Dan Pothouse and MU330. It was really cool.
Kith got to play with
I got to
him.
play with those guys on stage.
Yeah, they're really cool.
They're amazing.
Yeah.
So, you wanted to hear best and worst shows, too?
Oh, no.
It's almost as if they're fucking reading the comments on the live video. Good job, guys. You so far have been probably the best phone interview.
That's the big news.
That's the big news. Yes, best and worst. All right, that's a cheers. Woo!
Alright.
Shit, we didn't have a shot ready.
Oh,
I got
alcohol.
Okay. There's nothing in your shot. There's nothing in Daniel's either. There's something in your.
You guys have to.
Okay, I gotta say, I poured myself a shot and I didn't pour anybody else. Give me
He's
that.
like, woo! Never mind. Fuck you guys.
I tried to cheers everybody and nobody else had a shot.
Just means you have to do another one.
Your
really.
beer guy failed you.
Oh. Yeah, you should get
Oh. Your beer guy should tell you.
No.
Hey.
So best and worst. Best and worst.
Okay. So since we played so many, I would say we'd have to do a best three and a worst three. Is
Sounds
that okay?
good. Yes, most def.
Okay. I would have to say one of the best was the biggest show we ever played, which was at the Cotillion. Yeah, it was Cotillion, right?
Cotillion, yeah.
We opened for Here Come the Mummies, and there was how many people?
900 people. This place was like barely halfway full.
Yeah, but it's huge.
That's about huge.
And so that had to be up there. Yeah, for sure.
The other one that I would say in our top three, I begged and begged and begged. We all collaboratively begged, and Pabst Blue Ribbon sponsored us, and they flew our asses to Anaheim, California, and we played with Real Big Fish and Less Than Jake at a at a place called Out of the Park Pizza in Yorba Linda.
Because we drink sometimes.
Yeah. So they were paying us back for all the years we've been drinking.
They gave me a quarter of the money I spent on this.
So you guys have earned your ribbon. You've earned your ribbon.
We also got to play with Codename Rocky out there, who's become like one of our best friend bands as well recently.
We got to go.
And we're actually playing. We're playing a couple of shows. I'm not supposed to announce all of that yet, but there's more than one date on this tour that's coming up with Codename Rocky, and one of them is for sure 924 Gilman.
Oh, you know.
Oh, they can announce
And
that.
then they lost the show. No, just kidding.
Okay. So we got one more bet. We got
we got one more bet.
That's hard because we played so many. What?
That was pretty good.
Well, there's so many local shows that we played where the entire.
I don't know. East LA was awesome and was scary. It was like we were freaked out, but it was really amazing.
They're amazing out there. Like
we've had some pretty awesome shows back home.
Well, we've had like 150, 200 people at our show at home, and everybody wall to wall going crazy.
And that's like Oklahoma. So you're talking about like a 500 square foot room.
Tiny rooms with tons of people in them going crazy.
So much fun.
Okay, now the fun part. We're going to talk about the worst.
Yes.
Okay.
Bastard.
All right. Well,
we'll play some shit. Well,
you can make one of those. Oh no!
too soon.
Okay. One time when we were in the early stages of big news, me and Logan played a show. And there was 2 people from the other band that watched us for a little bit, and they watched a half a song and then went outside and we played to an empty room for 30 minutes.
What about that one? There was one that they set up, the old saxophone set up in a parking lot. You want to tell me about that?
Yeah. So a lot of the bad ones were in the really early days where we really didn't know what we were doing at all. And so our early saxophone player said that we had a show at a family fun day in a parking lot. And at that time, we took whatever show came our way. And we got out there, and he was playing Star Wars songs. Outside of
John Williams?
He said outside TC Pizza playing Star Wars too. And we were like, oh, dude, we can't do what are we doing here? It's like a flea market set outside of TC.
I heard it here first.
Like one of those guys were like drunk and the other guy was stoned, and it was a family atmosphere. It was weird.
It was like old people and little kids and balloons and not me.
Wow.
Old people, little kids,
What's
and
the third
balloons.
word show?
Third worst show. I don't know, man. We've had 2 songs.
We played that show. We played a show where it was in Deep Ellum of Dallas, and right down the street, MXPX was playing.
Oh, it was bad timing.
Oh, it was really bad timing. So we played pretty much an empty room. All the bands stayed to watch each other, but MXPX was playing down the street, and so it was really.
So we got really drunk and slept in our van, and we woke up in the middle of the night. There was gunshots.
Oh no!
They
I
popped.
was talking to my girlfriend on the phone, and it was just like bap 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 bap, and we were like, oh.
Time to go.
Dang. And then all these cops roll up on our van, and they're like, oh, did you hear that? And I was like, yeah, man. I heard all that. I heard the fireworks. Can't get them. Yeah, that was up there. Yeah.
That was up.
You've been in that situation, haven't you, Kiff?
Oh yeah.
In Blue Island?
Yes. Shotgun. Playing in a house show in Blue Island, Illinois, and the next door neighbor decided to take out his shotgun and threaten everybody. So we quickly got the fuck out of there. So
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
Oh man.
where would you most want to play, and with what would be like your dream band to play with?
Oh.
Streetlight or Boston?
Boston's up there.
Boston's up there.
You get Green Day's kind of up there too.
Looking, yeah.
I played Blink-182 be pretty cool.
Or if All Ivy did a reunion.
Yeah.
Rampant.
Dream place to play. Oh man, shit.
Gilman's one of them. Or what?
Gilman is a big one for us that we're about to do.
There's so many.
We want to play Reggie's in Chicago. Like, we'd like to play, like, fucking,
Man, Wembley Stadium.
Ready, of course. Ready, Madison Square Garden.
Fucking Super Bowl.
Like, if we play
I don't know what they were doing up there.
They're not playing. Is what they were doing.
Yeah.
If we could play the Hidden Records again.
With the
Yeah, that'd
who?
be cool.
I missed
We
that.
played with
The Interrupters?
We
Yeah,
played with them in Oklahoma City a while back.
Yeah, like some 20.
It was like my second show ever.
That's
was
cool.
terrifying.
What about playing out of the country? Or is that in the works at all?
Yeah.
Families and dreams.
In England, we got some friends in England that want us to come over. In Canada, we want to play like Food the Fest, and it'd be rad. Like lots of stuff in Canada. Like I'm kind of friends with Eddie Casillas from Voodoo Locals, and he's been recommending we get up to Canada. He actually mixed and mastered our latest album. So if you check out Welcome to the Weird Kids Table, Eddie Casillas from Voodoo Locals mixed and mastered that. And
how did you become friends with him? How's that work?
Message the fuck out of him.
Yeah. I just sent him a message and he answered.
Are you guys familiar, like, with when you go to a town, are you familiar with any of the scene there? Do you do any research as to, like, the bands who have asked you to play? Or how does setting up shows for you work? Like, do you have a manager who does that? Or do you guys just bug the fuck out of different venues? Or how's that work?
So I do a lot of the booking and stuff. This is John, the drummer. And,
Wow, really?
I've done a lot of research on the scene in general. And so, like, I know that the West Coast was, like, on our list of things to do originally. We already had connections in Texas thanks to Jacob and Logan. Mm-hmm. And so through our brother-sister band Madeline, we made a lot of more connections, like with Eric Daniel of the Holophonics, and they've really helped us out, too, with the Texas music scene. And there's a lot. You'd be super surprised, but there's a lot. There's at least 40 or more ska bands in the North Texas area.
I know.
And
I've got a few coming on my show.
They're great. The North Texas is great for ska. But basically, I did a hell of a lot of research, and I got in connections with a lot of really cool bands like Matamoska and the Steady 45s out of L.A.
Ooh, yeah.
And like Cameron Hallenbeck from Half Past Two, who works with Pocket Entertainment.
You know what? Do you want to hear a funny story about this? Half Past Two?
Yeah.
Do you want to hear this?
Yeah.
This is appropriate. So Max in Half Past Two sent me a message last night, but I didn't get it because I was already asleep. And it said, "Hey, are we on for tomorrow?" And I go, "What the fuck?" And I read through our thread. And in December, I guess I had booked them for tonight. Oops.
Oh.
So I apologized, and so they will be on the show April 26th. So, it's funny y'all know each other. I apologize, Max from Half Past Two. You'll be on April 26th.
They're really cool. They're awesome. So Terry, their vocalist, is a sweetheart, and Cameron, the guitar player, has like become one of my really dear friends lately, and they've helped us out with the entire California scene and connections. And then Codename Rocky, like Bill, the trumpet player from Codename Rocky, has been a huge asset too. Like those guys are super sweet. It's funny because the guy that designed our logo, his favorite ska band in college, like we both went to college back in the early 2000s. And his favorite ska band was Codename Rocky, and we got to play with them the first time at that ska festival that we played with Real Big Fish and Weston Jake, and he freaked out. He was like, "You guys are playing with Codename?" I was like, "Yeah."
Yeah, they let us actually come up on stage and everything.
Yeah, we drank on stage and partied with them while they were playing. It was really cool.
Do you guys know who Mr. Blank is?
Yeah, we're playing with them in Seattle.
I was going to ask. Good. And are you familiar with who Epic 18 is?
No.
Oh, my friends. Yay! Then I can make a connection, and this is a shout out to Thomas. Do you know who Thomas Ochoa is? I think that's how you say it.
That sounds really weird.
So he books and manages, he manages Epic 18, but he books Pentagonal Brewing. I think I said it right. So if you want to show an Imperial, he'd be the guy. He'd be the guy to talk to there.
Imperial, California.
He's awesome, and he's really helped me connect a lot with the West Coast, and that's why, like, I already had been friends with, like, the Kings Seattle, but then all these other bands,
Optometrist.
Oh, that's clever.
Mr. Blake.
Yeah, they were one of our original contacts when we were going to book in Idaho, and we ended up going and booking at the Shredder in Boise. But yeah, we were trying to get them to play that show with us at the Shredder. They're really cool.
Yeah, so like all of these people are upcoming. Like they're going to eventually be on the show, and it's like interesting that this whoever's watching, this is the flow. If anyone's picking up
it's
on
like a circle. It's not a
big
square
thing.
triangle. It's like a circle.
What is it called? It's like El Nino. It starts in California and works its way this way. So,
El Nino is Spanish for the Nino.
The Nino.
So,
and that's the big news. That's
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question.
So how's Chicago? Since we've never been there.
How is it?
Wait,
Yeah.
here?
How's Chicago?
Not like
Yeah,
Kenosha.
Yeah, it's big and loud and full of homeless people, and
Have you ever heard of Al Capone? It's like that.
No.
Okay, well, let me ask you.
where
How's
you guys,
Kenosha?
where Kenosha is small and quiet and full of punk rock. I am one of maybe 3 ska kids in Kenosha, and legit, I can
I
claim.
think the punk community likes us. Like, we've been super embraced by the street punk community and, like, just the punks in general. Like, so maybe we should come up there.
Oh yeah.
The whole,
We have our hands on every venue in
that's
town.
true, man.
Everybody kind of has to stick together because there's not many of anybody, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I was gonna ask how is the scene there, but Kif does have a question before I ask any more.
All right, this always interests me. People that musicians and such. When did you guys start playing music?
Not as a
And
band,
what-
like
and
individually.
What, and individually, and what instrument
Okay.
did you start with?
This is Jacob. I was listening to Metallica. I was listening to Metallica Kill 'Em All, and I was 12, and it was Good Friday. Yes, 2003. Good Friday, 2003. I was listening to Metallica Kill 'Em All, and I realized that my Uncle Brandon's guitar was in the shed. And so I went over to my grandma's house, and I got the guitar, and I never stopped.
Wow, did they put it away in the shed because it was sinful, and now you need to go to church?
This is the devil's music.
Probably.
What is that?
This is Daniel, the trombone player. I started playing trombone when I was 12. I was like, I joined bands in junior high, and they were showing us all the instruments we could play, and I just thought the trombone was the coolest fucking instrument. It was definitely the weirdest one, the weirdest looking one, so I picked that one, and I've just been with it ever since.
This is Ryan, the trumpet player. I have a very similar experience with that. I joined a band in junior high, and I started playing the trumpet. Actually, my brother's friend played the trumpet, and I thought it was really cool. So I went ahead and tried it, and I haven't stopped. And then I discovered in high school Streetlight and Real Big Fish and stuff like that. And so, I fell in love with ska right then and there. And then I met Jacob, and he was really into it. So, one point. That's right.
Okay, so this is John, and to tell my age, in 1996, I was 12 years old, and I started, I'm the drummer, by the way, and so when our trumpet player was 2, I was 12, and the drummer, that's me, I started playing trombone in middle school, and that's when I started my musical career, and I played a lot of like orchestral shit and jazz. And then I told my teachers that told me that I would never have any rhythm to fuck off, and started teaching myself drums. And yeah.
Huh. Is that everybody?
Well,
What did you say?
I said, was that everybody? I was trying to count.
Yes.
Well, that
Yes,
was
that was all.
Well, Logan.
Except for Logan.
Yeah, Logan.
Logan's still out here.
Logan's still not here.
Well,
we'll
right.
just make it up. He likes things.
He likes things and stuff.
Logan has been playing bass seriously for 3 years, and if you've listened to our bass parts, he is the bass god, and that's what we talk about.
Wow.
Longer?
Like 5, 6 years.
But like 5 or 6 years, like as a serious bass player, which is still crazy.
I will say that, so I met Logan at Strung Out,
and I had just moved to Norman. I'm from a small town, so I just moved up here, and I was like, man, I'm gonna start a band there. And I was at this strung out show, and I was smoking a cigarette, and I walked inside, and I walked up to the bar, and there was this guy standing there, and I was like, hey man, where are you from? He's like, Norman. And I was like, me too. You play anything? He's like, yeah, I play bass. I was like, shit, I'm looking for a bass player. You want to come jam? He's like, yeah. And he came over, and he played Detroit by Rancid. I was like, are you any good? And he was like, oh, not really. Like, this is what I can play. And I was like, oh, shit. Well, I never have to worry about this again. I've ever seen in my life.
One and done.
You guys drive these vans, right, when you go on tour?
Yeah.
Where's been the best rest area?
Actually, we stayed in a few hotels. We stayed in the hotel across the street from Disneyland.
Yeah, that was
We got
nice.
hooked up, and we got to actually like sit there for a couple of days. That was amazing.
Huh.
Okay, so you want to hear a random ass really funny story?
Yes.
Okay, so
Have you not watched the damn show?
No. You better know.
yeah, okay.
This is about Danger Dan. Danger Dan's the Trump local.
How crazy in depth can we get into this story?
Period.
Well, okay. Want to hear some Steve Irwin shit? Okay.
What? Are you raping animals on tour? What the hell's going on? Calm down.
Hell yeah.
Kind of.
No, no. We got to LA or whatever. We were like, you know what? We're going to the beach. Like, damn, we're going to the beach. And so me and Ryan and Daniel and one of our roadies all went to Long Beach. And we go out to the beach, and we're out there maybe 4 minutes, and our roadie says, man, something just swam over my foot. I said, what are you talking about? And then something swam over my foot. I was like, oh, crap. And then Daniel just starts screaming and starts running out of the ocean. And we chased after him, and this dude had been stung by a stingray.
Wow, Kip was
What did they
right.
say?
The story gets better.
And we're sitting there on the beach, and he's just like screaming,
Blood pouring out of my foot.
and some locals walk up, and they're like, yeah, man, you don't swim in this beach. This is trash beach. You see all that? This is trash.
There was an island out in the distance, and they were like, what's that island? And they're like, just a pile of trash in the fucking ocean.
I'm gonna take that record back right now.
Oh man.
This is trash beach.
Oh, I think it gets better.
It was the worst. There was only one way to cure it, and
Did you
that
all?
is cigarette.
Did you piss on him?
Yeah. No, we just
Oh, that's a
smoked cigarette.
stingray. Never mind. Or
jellyfish.
jellyfish.
We went to a coffee shop and he stuck his foot in the sink.
Okay, I want to tell my side of the story. So after all that happened, they showed back up at the hotel, right? And I think I was like waiting on the check-in to work out or whatever. So I'm sleeping in the van in front of like a Jack in the Box, and they get in and they're freaking out. And I'm like, so we go over to the hotel. And they're trying to find an elevator to get up to the hotel, and all these really rich-ass people, like, start backing up, and they're like, no, please, you take the elevator first. I'm taking my foot, trying to keep blood from dripping on the floor. It looks like a fucking terrible, like a game, like, movie scene, and they're just, like, terrified to be standing next to us.
You Pulp Fiction it.
Yes.
We didn't smell like this. Well, I didn't smell like this.
Did you go to the hospital?
Nah.
No, okay. So I was kind of messed. I was kind of wasted, okay? And I'm the only one that's wasted, and I got voted down. I was the only one that was like, we should go to the hospital, and I got voted out.
The drunk guy got voted out and going to the hospital?
So
Wow.
this leads us back to the first really funny thing was we told you Dan fell and hit his head.
Yeah.
He had bleeding on his brain for 2 months and he was slurring. And I'm the only one that voted to take him to the hospital.
I'm the one that all the shit happens to.
So-
That's why we call him Stuntman.
So you guys are a fucking blood in, blood out fucking ska band? Like, we want you to be like family so that we end ridiculously together.
This turned deep.
We're the Jerry Springer show, but made for ska.
Oh, wow. I bet
Hello.
It's really ironic. We were just talking about ridiculousness before we had to.
Yeah. So as we are nearing our hour already, which didn't seem like an hour, but goddamn.
Oh really? Oh wow.
Let's talk about where folks can find you. Pimp yourself.
You can find us on Facebook. You can find us on Instagram, Spotify, YouTube. We're going to be uploading a lot of videos, coming tour and everything.
You can add this one to your repertoire as well.
That's right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We have a website, like a dedicated website called www.thebignewsband.com, and it has all of our social media at the bottom of the page, and it has a lot of that integrated to the website. We're actually on almost every major music media platform. We're on Apple and iTunes, Google Play, Deezer and Tidal. We're like basically everywhere. Bandcamp, yeah.
How do you guys do that? In our house?
Sorry,
did you say our house? Did you say you're coming to our house soon?
Oh, sure.
He said your town.
Use paper towel.
Huh?
No.
I said town. Coming to your town soon.
Right.
Yeah,
Gotcha. We can hear real good, up here. Let me shake the cheese out of my ears.
Oh, sorry.
Where's the Uber when you're here?
How did you guys get on things like Google Play and Apple and iTunes and stuff? How does that work? How do you submit music to get posted on there?
DistroKid. Yeah, there's a website called DistroKid, which is really funny because most people have heard of CD Baby. And the CEO of CD Baby actually endorses DistroKid, which is kind of weird. But it's this little website called DistroKid. You pay a very small fee. I think we're doing $20 a year, and we have unlimited uploads.
Awesome.
And and we also, Shazam, that app that you can push the button, and if you hear something on the radio, and you're like, dude, I love that, but I don't know who the hell it is, and it identifies the band.
Very cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
We're on that too.
That's cool.
So in closing, what would you like to tell our viewers before we end the first portion of our show and then move on to playing your music, since you sent me 2 albums? What?
I would like to tell them to come out and hang out with us and meet us, because that's a lot of the fun, is to be able to play and enjoy each different city and meet different people in a real way, and go start bands.
Yeah, we're always hanging out after the show.
Yeah.
We love meeting people, so come out.
That's half the fun.
Yeah, I try to add everybody on Facebook after we play a show. I'm kind of a Facebook whore in that regard, but we want to build genuine, honest relationships, and if you message any of our social media platforms, we always respond, and we'll talk, and we'll just have casual conversation or whatever,
So you're gonna invite your fucking friends to my page, right?
Oh yeah,
Awesome.
absolutely.
Hey.
One of the coolest aspects of this band is to be able to go to places like Nashville or Memphis or Chicago or Little Rock or Austin or whatever, and be able to experience the city not as a tourist. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, we get to meet the real people that live there.
Hey,
actual stuff.
I forgot to mention something, but real quick. Saturday before your show, aren't you guys gonna record a music video?
Oh no, we got asked to do. There's a child foundation. I'm trying to remember what it's called. Senior Story Chicago, and they asked us to write a song. And basically, so if any bands are ever interested, any musicians, and tell your friends that you know that are musicians, it's called Senior Story Chicago. And basically, if you're playing in the Chicago area, they have a couple of venues that will allow their team to come in and record you live, in a green room or somewhere that's out of the way. And basically, we're going to do that next time we come through town. We've been a little too busy. Our eyes were too big for the mill, We bit up a little more than we could chew. And
so what you're telling me, hold on, time out. So if that's canceled, what you're telling me is, in theory, you could come play our basement Saturday before your damn show in Chicago.
You're gonna be right there.
Play what? Play your basement? Yeah, we could do that.
Before Chicago?
Absolutely.
Like an
We're
improv
going
thing.
to Kansas. We'll
my
be
birthday.
hauling ass.
It's
It's Kip Point's birthday.
It's whose birthday?
it's Kip's birthday. That's
That would
why
be-
we can't come to your show in Chicago.
And we have kids, so.
That's awesome.
Shit, I'm gonna say yeah.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll come-
We'll have PBR.
That is the big news for the evening, ladies and gentlemen, right there. Woo!
Done.
They're like, we don't want
We'll
to
bring the
see those
table.
people.
Should we?
Tomorrow, shit.
The Jameson that Ryan throws up.
Hey!
So we'll have beer here for you. We will have people here to see the show.
That'd be cool. A Saturday matinee. What time do you think you guys can roll in?
I'm setting this up right now.
I think it's a 9-hour drive from Lawrence. So if we leave pretty fucking early, we could probably get there. Hey, let me look. Let me GPS this.
9. Not if we left at 6. We get there at noon.
Well, then we can start drinking then, right?
What time do you guys have to load in Chicago? We don't have to discuss it on the show right now.
Oh, yes.
Well, we want to.
Okay.
Yeah.
See,
It's
these
a
guys are
9-hour
about,
drive.
dude, we're going to get along well.
But we just bought a new van, so it's gonna be super nice.
Well,
Hey! Is it a luxury van?
It is.
I'm gonna steer for a whole van. Not for it doesn't like transition. It's like oil. You can shift from first to second gear, and you can turn it.
But,
So you can turn.
They really actually want to take
Stuff you into their air pass.
What are you saying? It's a 5-star
I was
hotel.
just saying.
Yeah.
Because we got drunk.
No, seriously, you should warn them.
All right, guys. So, listeners, we've been talking with the big news from Oklahoma City.
Ric Flair.
The Nature Boy. Oh, good job. They're gonna play Chicago Subterranean with Bumsy and the Moochers and Beat the Smart Kids Saturday, and you can find them on all social media, on all music platforms where music is bought and stolen, on our show. And you sent me 2 albums. We're gonna get off with you guys and play that now.
Awesome.
Thank you guys so much for
Awesome
Thank you.
interview, guys.
Cheers,
Thank
my
you.
friends.
Woo!
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, thanks, bye.
And we're gonna take a short break. We're gonna return in just a minute with their music. They were super fun.
That was a
And
great
our
interview.
normal
Yeah.
randomness.
Okay?
Thanks.
Bye.